For people who grew up with little money, what always felt like a luxury. I grew up broke and am incredibly fortunate to have money as an adult. Meals out when I was a kid were huge. I think I only really remember 3 in my whole childhood. So as an adult who does largely whatever I like, going out to dinner still thrills me. Always get dressed up, make the most of it, etc. We had toilet paper. But at my grandma's she also had a stack of squares cut out of newspapers, to be used together with toilet paper in order not to double the toilet paper as it was a scarcity in Eastern Europe. When my grandma would come pick me up and spoil me. My parents didn't have much money and were addicts, so when my grandma would come get me I would come back with new clothes, video games, toys, etc. I used to think my grandma was rich, but she actually just had a stable income. Reading this thread is really special. We've almost certainly learned to appreciate the little things now. Something I haven't seen mentioned yet is having paper towels in the house. This is just something that my mom never bought when I was growing up. And if she did, it was maybe once a year or less, when they were on sale, and we couldn't just use them for anything. They were savored. Now I always have paper towels, but it took me a few years as a young adult to not feel guilty every time I tore one off. I would even tear off little pieces to only use what I needed, rather than the whole sheet. I'm not as guilt-ridden anymore, but I still try not to waste them on stupid spills like water. I've also learned that it's worth it to buy the pricier ones, as you use less and they last longer. Buy nice or buy twice is something that holds true in my life. Asterisk edit, grammar fix plus clarity. Having plenty of towels. Growing up we only had about 4 to 5. Just about all of them had holes and were stringy. We would hang them up and reuse them once or twice so we wouldn't have to wash them every day and cause them to become more stringy and develop new holes, or cause them to become bigger. As of now I'm still in the poor/lower middle class range, but I hoard towels. If I can find them at a good price I buy them. I have about 20 now. Drinking something other than tap water with a meal. Like juice or squash. We never, ever did this. And if I ever do it in adulthood it feels wildly luxurious, like, you already have the flavor from the food. Why do you need flavor from the drink as well? Just getting some god-dang crafts. Man. I was the kid you could entertain the rest of the night with popsicle sticks, glitter, and glue. You know what I never got to do? Crafts. Because the only popsicle sticks we ever got were none. The glue was for school only. Don't let your friends borrow your glue/crayons/pencils, we can't buy more, till income tax. And glitter meant more electricity vacuuming it up. I am now a grown woman with a craft room that sparkles like a dragon hoard. I make Martha Stewart weep, squinting face with tongue. New clothes. I always had hand-me-downs from our more affluent neighbors. But for my birthday, my grandparents would sometimes take me out to but a new outfit or new shoes. Always a fun adventure. Also, going out to friendlies. We got to do it once a year when report cards came in. Smiley face. New clothes. Pretty much had to make everything last, and while I'm not proud of it I did a lot of shoplifting as young teen. I always look back and think how I really lucked out that the dirty punk look was super in when I was a teen. I basically based my whole style around it and people thought I was just being fashionable, but I was just really freaking poor LMAO. We usually had a can of soup or beans or a slice of bread and spam for dinner. On payday mom would bring home one of those rotisserie chickens they sold at the grocery store. We eating like the rich people. $5 to spend at the book fair. I never let go of that one, and now I send my kids off with $40 to spend at the book fair with the idea that my kids will walk out of there covered head to toe in book fair drip after telling their middle school crush, just get whatever you want. It's all on me. At the end of the season, sometimes the grocery store would have peck baskets of peaches on sale for a dime to clear them out before they went bad. And if mom had a spare dime, she'd buy them and tell us to eat all we wanted. Normally fruit was limited to 1 a day if there was any at all. Man. We'd hit those peaches like a plague of locusts. I am from a small island in the Pacific. While I mostly still take cold showers, I have always felt that a hot shower is the finest luxury one can experience. I had my first hot shower when I was 22 years old and I can never forget it. I would say tranquility and security. My parents had little money, same as I do now, and now I understand the huge work they did every day for me to feel safe and serene. Lacking money is poop nowadays. Having to check if that payment will come in on schedule or you'll be left with debts that month is the greatest poop I can think of right now. This happened to my parents, too, but they always made it so it had no impact on our daily lives for me. It was just an act of curse, but I will always appreciate the few years of serenity they gifted me with. Dental and medical care. Dental insurance was a huge luxury. I didn't have an employer that offered that until I was in my late 20s. Needless to say, I spent a fortune on my teeth. I made sure my kids always had dental care from them on. Grew up poor, and when I was a kid I used to think you were rich if you had a dishwasher and a millionaire if you had one of those refrigerators that have a button for ice. McDonald's was also a luxury. A couple times a year on our birthdays. Buying anything. My colleague was telling me how he grew up buying something that is less than 50 cents, US dollars, and I remember that was a luxury for me growing up. I never had any opportunities others had. Same colleague talked about where he always nagged his mom to make food. And I had to suppress the urge to yell that we had to go weeks without eating anything because my 14-year-old brother was too busy cleaning the house to notice there was nothing to cook for us. I recently realized that I led a completely different life than others and my experiences were not normal. We moved every couple of months because my mom scammed landlords for us to stay until they kicked us out. Same with schools.